Hey guys, Spotter here. We're continuing our coverage of the E3 press conferences from the Monday prior to day one of E3. I guess we call it day one of E3, whatever. Ubisoft had a pretty decent showing. I mean, if you look past Aisha, then it had a pretty decent show, I guess. But the last one was probably the biggest one in my mind. But let's go through it. They started off, they brought Jerry Cantrell on from Alice in Chains. That guy's amazing. And showing us Rocksmith 2014. I know Hyper's been playing that. Well, not 2014, but the previous version. And it looks pretty cool. I'm not a guitar player, but, if you want to learn how to play guitar, there you go. A Splinter Cell Blacklist, which was introduced last year at Ubisoft's press conference at E3. They showed, I wasn't really too keen on what they showed. I mean, they didn't, they showed all these screens flashing in and out. Didn't really get to see a lot of, that much of a gameplay, but it looked okay. Rayman Legends is releasing on September 3rd. They showed some of that. Some of these games that really don't, they don't interest me per se. They might interest you guys, but like the Mighty Quest for Epic Loot. And I'm not sure if you guys were watching, who are they marketing this game to? I mean, it looks like a cartoonish game for kids, yet they had all this bleeping out of presumably all these swear words towards the end. So I don't know who they're marketing that game to, but it's really not my kind of game. South Park: The Stick of Truth, and that I believe that IP they purchased during the fire sale that THQ had when they went under. The crew actually looked pretty interesting for kind of a racing battle game where you can team up with 4 players and you can verse other crews, complete objectives, etc., etc. It looked kind of cool for that racing battle genre. Again, I'm not too into that type of game. Watch Dogs was next, and you remember from last year, Ubisoft blew away pretty much everybody with this Watch Dogs gameplay, and they showed another scene from that game, quite an extended scene for that as well. So that's definitely on the to-buy list when it does release. Just Dance 2014. I've played some Just Dance with the family over on my Wii U. But I don't think I'm going to be picking it up for for my use anyway. Maybe the kids might like it, but yeah, that's Just Dance 2014. Rabbids Invasion looked kind of interesting again from a kid's standpoint. It looks like they have sort of an interactive television show that they're combining with this gameplay, I guess. But again, it just looked like one of those games along the lines of the Mighty Quest for Epic Loot and possibly Rayman. Not really in my type of game genre. Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. They showed some gameplay from that. I mean, it looks fantastic. You're a pirate assassin this time around. And I don't know. Like, I played Assassin's Creed 1, and I played the entire thing from start to finish. I never got a chance to play 2 or Brotherhood or those games. And then I went back to Assassin's Creed 3, and Assassin's Creed 3 just really turned me off. I played for 4 hours thinking, is this going to get better? And I was just bored with it. And people have been saying, well, it takes 7 hours to get into the game. I'm like, why should it take 7 hours to get into the game? So I don't know if I'm going to go and attempt Assassin's Creed 4, but it does look pretty fantastic. And they're turning these games out yearly. Well, they've been doing it since day one, and I believe. And it does look pretty epic. And I think they have different studio teams working on respective titles. So it's kind of like a 2-year cycle. Because I wouldn't think they'd be able to turn around that with the same team in a year, especially with DLC, etc. Then they announced Trials Fusion. Trials Fusion, people were pretty excited about that. It looked pretty cool. And Trials Frontier on mobile. So Trials Fusion would release on console and PC. Trials Frontier would be a kind of a complementary title that would release on mobile. And then, again, Ubisoft coming out and, to me, just blowing the whole conference out of the water, just kind of like they did with Watch Dogs last year. They showed us gameplay from a title called The Division, a first-person, it looked like cooperative shooter, and they really built this demo well. I mean, if you go back and watch the footage from their conference, You know, they had player interaction. Like it's almost as if that player interaction was part of the game, but it wasn't. But it was so well done. It was so well done, and the gameplay looked fantastic. And we got these homing. There's like these homing mines or seeking mines that the guy just threw down as like the sphere, and it went and seeked out the enemy player and just blew him to smithereens. It looked really good. I'm definitely excited to see that. I'm not really sure about any other release dates other than Rayman Legends on September 3rd. Rocksmith, well, that wasn't even mentioned. 2014. I assume that's going to be 2014, if not later this year. The Crew, early 2014. But the Division is one that I'd be excited. Hopefully, it's not. You know, next year we're going to see some more gameplay, and it's going to be released, you know, late summer 2014 or fall 2014. Hopefully, this is something that's going to release towards the end of the year or early next year. But anyways, go and check out that gameplay because it was absolutely fantastic. I'm excited about playing The Division, but we're going to have to settle for Watch Dogs at least in the near term. All right, guys, so that's it for Ubisoft, and we have the crushing Sony conference to report on next. Yeah, it's going to be crazy, so stay tuned for that. I'm Spider, and I'm out.